Is the Christmas tree a pagan idol? The answer is no. Now, I know some of you have been taught that Jeremiah 10 verse 3 is a reference to the Christmas tree, but I'm going to show you it is not. Let's read it. It says in verse 3, "For the practices of the peoples are worthless. They cut a tree out of the forest, and a craftsman shapes it with his chisel." He's referring to idol makers, where they would take a trunk of a tree and then shape it into the form of a man or an animal. That's what he's referring to. But people will read the next verse. They adorn it with silver and gold. They'll say, well, see, that's tinsel. That's what they say. They fasten it with a hammer and nails so it will not totter. But here's what they never mention. Verse 3, "Like a scarecrow in a cucumber field, their idols cannot speak." What's a scarecrow? It's the shape of a man. And what it's referring to are the idol makers who would shape the trunk of the tree in the form of idols. Maybe they had mouths, but they could not speak. Eyes they could not see. He's not referring to Christmas trees at all. So the passage is not about Christmas trees. Some of you say, but what's the whole point of a Christmas tree? Well, the Christmas tree actually has some spiritual significance. I think the first thing is it's a tree. It is to remind us that the reason why Christ was born was to die on a tree or the cross. As it says in Galatians 3, "Cursed is anyone who is hung on a tree." So the Apostle Paul refers to the tree as a cross. So that reminds us that Jesus was born to die for our sins. It's also an evergreen tree. It reminds us that salvation is evermore. It's an eternal salvation. It never dies out. As other trees might grow brown and dormant in the winter, not so the evergreen. It's still alive and giving life. And so it is. Jesus' death can give life evermore, all the time, 24/7. And then we decorate it with all sorts of objects to remind us that Christ died not just for our sins, but he died to bring every blessing from heaven to you. So when we look at the Christmas tree, I want you to look at it not as an idol. You look at it as a symbol of the death of Christ, his salvation that is given to us forevermore, and that there's many blessings that we get from the death of Christ. Merry Christmas to all of you.